This is about as real as it gets. The editing on this is probably not going to be aesthetic. The lighting is crazy, and it is currently like 12 o'clock. But there were some things on my mind that I wanted to share because I really wish I would have had a video like this before going to college last year. So that's why I'm making it, in case someone out there needs to hear it. So, for those who don't know, I just survived my freshman year of college, and I've been enjoying the summer, soaking it in, and I've just been thinking about the state of mind I was in last year before going to college. And I just remember spiraling, but I had this sense of peace. And the only thing that really gave me peace was this idea that this exciting new season was just going to be me and Jesus on a road trip. And that no matter what happened, I knew that God was going to be good and that God is faithful and that He's been there for me my entire life. Even though there's been messy circumstances, like the Lord has just never left. And so I want to give encouragement and to whoever needs to hear it. So you're getting ready for college. I remember hearing so many different people's perspectives and everyone dying to tell me their experience. And I heard some very disheartening insight where people would be like, oh my gosh, wait till you room with your roommate. You're going to hate her by the time you you guys end, freshman year. Stuff like that. Or they'd be like, oh wait, you really don't find your friends starting off it's very lonely in the beginning. Be prepared to, want to come home, be crying every single day and not having anyone to eat with at lunch. All those different things were just swarming around my head because I was just hearing people's experiences to the point where I just had to completely get rid of all of it and acknowledge that they are not me and I am not them. Their experience is not going to be my experience, and my experience is not going to be their experience. So that's one huge piece of advice I would give anyone going into their freshman year. Really block out the noise and hone in on the fact that I know and I believe that Jesus will tailor this college experience to whatever He needs it to be in your season of life. For me, I was terrified. I had never left home. I did not think I was going to be equipped for making it through college classes. I didn't know if I was going to make friends because I've had a lot of friends go to college and they had terrible experiences. So I was hopeful, but I just had this picture in my mind of what everyone had painted for me. And it ended up being 10 times better than the picture that everyone else painted for me. And something I acknowledged going in, this is kind of just my perspective on life. You get the choice if you're going to be happy or if you're going to be miserable. And I wanted to be happy. I'm like, I want to be happy. I want to have a good time. So that means putting myself out there, even when it's scary, because this girl is an introvert at heart. Just put yourself out there. Say yes. You only get this experience once, so jump in there. The one cool thing about freshman year is that everyone is in the same boat. I felt this pressure that I had to have it all figured out. My room needs to be perfect. I need to have everything. If I don't have everything, then I'm not gonna be able to get it. All this different stuff. What if I don't meet the right people? What if I do this? What if I'm not here at the right time? It can get so consuming. But something I found so much peace in knowing was that the Lord had already ordained all the details. And that I did not need to stress about finding everything. I just had to be present and just saying, Lord, surprise me. That was something that helped me so much. And I think that's honestly why my first 3 weeks were so much smoother than what I expected, was because I had that outlook of the Lord is in every detail. If I don't meet that person, then I wasn't meant to meet them. And if I don't have something for my room, we'll get it. It's okay. And you kind of just have this perspective because you're only looking at yourself. But when you get to school, you realize that everyone is in the same boat as you of not knowing anything. You're all figuring it out. And it's honestly such a magical period. And I honestly wish I could go back and relive it because it was just so much fun all being in the same boat. Communication is so key, and that's something I learned this year. And just because somebody hated their roommate doesn't mean that you're going to hate yours. And just don't adopt that mindset. Don't just kind of mute that out. I ended up loving my roommate. We met over Instagram. She is like my best friend. So like you don't need to like worry about like what's going to come with the roommate. Like at the end of the day, it all is going to get sorted out. Communicate with each other and get used to living with another person. One thing my dad told me, which was such a neat, kind of perspective going into college, was when you get married, you're going to have to live like with a new person, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like I've never lived with anybody before. And you're developing the skill of learning how to live with somebody that's not yourself or not in your family now. So utilize that. Take advantage of that. See where you can change. And I think that was a great thing for me, like coming in this like last year. Another huge, probably not the biggest point. Do not lose your relationship with the Lord when you go to college. It was the most magical experience leaving my family's home and discovering what the Lord has for me with the Lord. Finding my church, finding what works for me, finding what I'm drawn to, finding what I'm attracted to. And yes, like my relationship with the Lord was already growing, but like my relationship with the Lord at college grew so much more because you're not being made to go to church, or my parents haven't been making me to go to church, but like, you know what I mean? You're not like watching your parents go to church and be like, okay, I got to go to church. No, it's a choice. Like it becomes a choice, and it actually ends up empowering your faith because you're like, I'm choosing to be here. I'm choosing to spend time with the Lord. I want to spend time with the Lord. Like it was so empowering for my relationship with the Lord to really discover what my relationship with Him looked like and what He was calling it to look like. It was so cool. If I could go back and relive that, I would. I think one last thing like I'll say is my dad always told me, you'll hear me say like a lot of my dad's advice because he gives great advice, but he said have open hands. And that means go into something not holding on to anything that the Lord does not have for you, and gripping your plans, because what you want to have is a heart posture that says, Lord, bless me. Bless me with what you have for me. Lord, if there's something in my life that doesn't align with your plan for my life, take it out. And going into college, you can have all these pictures of what it's going to be like. But when you surrender that and you go, Lord, you know what? I have all these plans, Lord, but the plans that you have for me are so much better. Open up your hands and just go, Lord, these are the things I have imagined, like that I'm imagining in my head, but I don't want it. Whatever you have, that's what I'm laying my hands out to receive. That right there, that posture ended up blessing me so much more than I could even tell you. It is the best posture to have because there are so many things that came out of my freshman year that I know aren't from me. They are not from anything I did, except saying, Lord, I'm inviting you to come and work in my life, and I'm getting out of your way. Because I think we are ourselves' worst enemy, and you do not want to be in God's way. Like, you don't want to be holding on to your plans, like, because it's painful. It's so painful when God wants to do something with you and you're like, no. So when you're like this, it's so much better. It's so much more profitable for you. Like, the Lord has such good plans for those who love Him. And I think it's so important just to remind yourself of that truth, that you can be scared, and it is normal to be scared. And it's so valid. But just know that whatever's coming, like, Jesus has already ordained. He loves you, and He has great plans for you. And that's just standing off truth. And sometimes plans are hard. And, I did face challenges, but it refined me and it made me into the person I am today. And I'm still learning with the Lord. Like, I'm not ever, done going through a season of refinement. But college is such a powerful time for the Lord just to really work and to show you things that you never would have seen if you would have been at home, and you're just like figuring out your lifestyle, figuring out you. And it's empowering, it builds confidence, and just be expectant for God to work so miraculously in your life. And if you guys are going to college, like drop a comment below. Like I'll keep track of who's going, and I'll just be praying for you guys. And just know that like this is such a cool season of your life. God is just starting to do great things with you. And I just anticipate that you're going to have a great time. And just anticipate that for yourself. Speak truth of yourself, saying, God loves me. God has good plans for me. I can rest in knowing that with open hands, God is going to give me what he has for me. And I only want what's in God's plans. So I hope that's helpful. I hope I just didn't ramble. But yeah, and if anyone has any questions about college, I'm an open book. And I would love to just give anyone what I kind of wish I would have had. So, yeah. Good luck with your freshman year.